later, because then you might give him a flat tire on the way to the elevator getting out of there. Let him get out of the building, not see you sprinting out behind him or her. But it sets the expectation you're doing well. Don't gossip. Don't say negative things about people you work with. Don't talk shit. Like, it's just, there's no need for it. And you don't want your personal brand to be associated with somebody who complains and moans and criticizes and blames everybody else and doesn't take any responsibility. Like, take extra responsibility. You hear people gossiping or talking negative, it's like, oh yeah, actually that's my fault. You know, I was working on that project, I didn't get them the thing they needed, but you know, we'll get it by next week, whatever it might be. And try to avoid those conversations with people that are spewing that negative energy. This guy can get you in a lot of trouble over the summer, or it can stay in your pocket on silent or vibrate, and nobody knows and cares. So when you're in a meeting, don't glance at your phone, put the ringer on silent. You do need to take a call. It's, you know, your brother's in the hospital and he's calling you like, excuse me, I'll be right back, I just have a family emergency I need to attend to. All right, people will be respectful, but don't be on your phone when somebody else is talking to you. Anytime your boss or any colleague comes over, even if you're texting or playing a game or doing social media, put your phone down, eye contact, pay attention. What can I do to help? Okay, great. Yeah, awesome. I'll send it to you right away. And as soon as they walk away, don't pick up your phone within the first 5 seconds. I was watching a TV show recently, and this guy met this guy that was a farmer, and he shook his hand, and the guy didn't like him, but then eventually he built all this rapport. It was great. And then as the guy's leaving the farmer's leaving the restaurant, he looks back to be like, oh, it's great to see you. And he sees the guy pulling Purell out and pumping hand soap on his hands to clean his hands because he shook the guy's hand. And that he lost everything he had just built in that hour lunch and all of that relationship. So be cognizant that people may turn around and look at you again. Don't be right back on your phone. If you say you're gonna send the email or whatever it is, dive into that task. Be cognizant who can hear you. Whether you have headphones in, if it's any company confidential information, anything about a client, don't talk about it in public places, like in a Starbucks or whatever it might be. If you have family stuff you got to deal with, don't talk about that in the middle of an open office. Find private rooms to have conversations. Now, if you're just making sales calls and you're in an open office and everybody's doing sales calls or whatever it is, that's totally fine. But I'm talking about if there's a conversation you know not everybody should hear, don't let other people hear it. Because you don't want your coworkers to worry that you're going out into the world and having client-specific, private, confidential conversations in front of everybody at Lime and Chipotle, whatever it might be. And don't post stupid stuff on social media. Don't embarrass yourself, your company, or your parents. All right. Went to Crate and Barrel on Saturday night. Real wild night. All right. Married life, you go to Crate and Barrel. Of these 3 people, who do you think's got the best personal brand?
I want to say the person with the man bun. I feel like it creates the most calm. If you take a look at the person's hair to the left, it's kind of wild. Might come off as very disheveled.
That's exactly how it came off, yeah.
Person on the right seems a lot more scattered, if that makes sense. With
I think that's fair. I also surreptitiously took these photos so they didn't know that they were going to be in this lecture. The man bun guy was okay. I also think the guy on the right was by far the most put together. His shirt was ironed or at least tucked in. He had on a watch and a wedding ring and dress pants and didn't have shirts that were untucked and hanging down. And the other 2 guys also couldn't figure out how to help me at all with the thing we needed. And then they got the older manager guy who came over. He was able to pretty quickly figure out how to get us a nice bookshelf that will be delivered tomorrow. That's very exciting. All right, so we're going to dive into your uniform. And did anybody go to Catholic school or wear uniforms in high school or elementary school? Okay, cool. I did as well. It's actually really helpful for your brain to not have to think too much about what to wear. So I encourage you every night, Sunday through Thursday, to pick out what you're going to wear the next day and to make it as simple as possible. And ladies, this is way harder for you, and I don't have as much actionable advice because I try to help my wife every morning figure out what outfit's going to work out, and boy, I don't know what shoes go with things. However, understanding what is the kind of business casual, business professional wardrobe, you see that shirt in the top right? I wear that shirt every single Tuesday. It's my Tuesday shirt.
Great shirt.
It's a great shirt. Purple and green. I've got purple socks. I've got green socks. I'm going to pick one of those 2 pairs that's clean, match it with the outfit. Show you real quick. I wear gray Under Armour golf pants 4+ days a week. All right? I have one belt from Beltology. It stretches. It's blue. Actually, I have two. I have a black one as well on the one day that I wear black pants. Right? You don't need lots of accessories. If you have a noticeable stain on pants, they're dirty, put them in the wash. Otherwise, they're not necessarily dirty. Don't wear the same ripped jeans in the same spot every day in a row. Have a cycle that you go through. And with your first paycheck this summer, you're getting paid good money. Go shopping. Buy some business professional clothes that you can wear throughout your internship. And you can probably wear back at Georgetown as like nice going out clothes. I just got this shirt last week, $30 at TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx has some real nice clothes. It's like a $90 polo shirt. It's real crisp. It's wrinkle free. I'm never gonna have to iron it. You can do pretty well with TJ Maxx. There's also J. Crew in the higher end stuff if you want to go have fun. Raise your hand if you own a sports jacket. Okay, cool. Gentlemen, buy one sports jacket with your first paycheck. And I would recommend navy because it goes with almost everything. So one of the things I learned at Deloitte first week, one of the partners walked up on stage. He's got his Navy sports jacket on. He said, one of the benefits of being a partner is that I can wear a Navy sports jacket to any occasion and I'm properly dressed. All right, you can wear a t-shirt underneath. You can have your startup t-shirt with a sports jacket on. That's business casual. You look good. You're repping a brand. The benefit of having a sports jacket is you get pockets. All right, you can put your business cards in here. You can put other people's business cards in here. You can have snacks. You can have gum. All sorts of things. You can do a lot with a jacket, and you only need one. Like if you want to get two, that's fine. You can branch out. I have a vest now. Vests are cool. Not that necessary, but my wife and I have matching vests because we're best friends. Yo. So if you have a simple uniform and you wear it every day or most days, again, it's really easy. You're consistent. Your wardrobe is not distracting. Right? You don't want to wear the flashiest, most memorable things. You want people to be like, oh, he's dressed appropriately, great, and then not think about it the rest of the day. Mark Zuckerberg, same thing. Jeans and his gray t-shirt. Every once in a while, he's got to go to court, puts on a suit and tie now instead of his bathrobe and sandals.
He doesn't get a haircut.
I don't know if you guys have seen Mean Girls or if this was before your time, but on Wednesdays we wear pink. Every single Wednesday, I think of my life, I wear something pink. I got 2 pink shirts in rotation. At this point, I got a few pairs of socks that have pink in it. It just makes it easy. I'm like, oh, it's a Wednesday. What do I have on that's pink today? How do I build an outfit around this pair of socks? It's not that hard. I'm not saying you have to wear pink, but if you want to sit with me at lunch, you better wear pink on Wednesdays. So business professional, business casual, professional usually involves a jacket. Ladies, there's heels, there's flats, there's boots, there's comfortable shoes. I wear my Nikes every day. I used to have a buddy, Dan, we called him Couch Dan because he lived on my couch for a while. He worked on the Hill for one of the senators or something, and he would wear super nice suits every day and his tennis shoes. I was like, Dan, how do you pull this off? He's like, man, I need like the extra arch support. And you can't make me wear those uncomfortable shoes. I'm gonna wear my Nikes, and I look great from there up. That's okay. You wanna be comfortable, I'm gonna encourage you, especially if you have a job that involves a lot of walking. I go up flights of stairs all day at Halcyon. Be comfortable, don't wear shoes that hurt your feet.
I have a question. We, for Georgetown Ventures, said we dress startup casual.
Mm-hmm.
And like as a lot of us are working at startups, like what would you define as the startup casual?
Ideally jeans without holes in them, closed-toed shoes. Unless other people wear sandals or Birkenstocks, don't wear those to work. And err on the side the first week of being overdressed, like even wearing a suit and tie and a jacket, and like people can tell you like, hey man, like you don't need to look that good, we'll tell you if there's a big event or something. There may be a way at work to like hide a dress shirt or a jacket or something in a closet, so in case something comes up and you got to go to a fancy meeting, but you were just wearing a t-shirt that day. Like startup Hoyas, like create the future t-shirts, those might be fine, but make sure other people in the organization are wearing that. And as a rule of thumb, dress like your boss's boss. Maybe your boss hasn't figured it out and their personal brand isn't where it should be and they don't wear the best things, but I bet the boss's boss has it together and is also dressing for the job you want, not the job you have, and you dress as you hope to be perceived. If you want to be perceived like you could be a partner in this firm, then dress like it. And don't have people be like, oh, he could never be a partner, he wears, jeans that are all ripped up and frayed at the bottom and like crappy t-shirts. So think about how you want people to view and perceive you. Yeah. And so, can anybody tell me, this is all the entrepreneurs in residence at Georgetown, can anybody tell me what day of the week this photo was taken?
Tuesday.
Correct. I can look at any photo. If I see me in that green and purple shirt, I know it was on Tuesday. All right? And you don't want to be memorable. This jersey is one of the most fire items I own in my wardrobe. As a sunglasses salesman, it was an appropriate work outfit. However, TJ and I, he's Georgetown alum as well, I think '09. We're co-captains of this Frisbee team. We're at a bar in Dewey Beach. That's a perfect time to have on a flashy jersey like that. If you're going to wear it out Friday or Saturday night, it's probably not what you need to wear to the office. All right? Sock game up there. I'm a big fan of sock game. That's okay as like an accessory that shows a little bit of personality. That's actually from my wedding. I gave all my groomsmen a sweet pair of feet socks for their like groomsmen gifts the night before. I had on the pineapple socks because pineapples are dope. Does anybody have any guys have their ears pierced? Cool. Probably don't get your ears pierced this summer. Yeah. I did get my ears pierced between freshman and sophomore year. Wasn't the smartest move. You don't need them anymore. Don't wear a watch or carry a handbag that is nicer or more expensive than your boss. You don't want them to be like, how'd you get that super snazzy Rolex thing or that nice Michael Kors bag or whatever it was. Just be cognizant that you don't want to make other people look bad or feel bad. Does that make sense? Think about how you smell. Don't use too much perfume. I thought the Axe body spray comment was on point. It's a couple squirts. Axe body spray is not technically deodorant. You should put on deodorant to prevent sweating. Gentlemen and ladies, you're probably going to sweat a lot in the summer. Feel free to go to TJ Maxx and get some undershirts. I'm wearing an undershirt today, so the sweat fits aren't as bad. One of the benefits of wearing a sports jacket, you can sweat as much as you want, nobody knows. All right, there's power there, especially if your whole back is covered. You may want to have extra clothes hidden at work somewhere just in case of a sweaty occasion. If you're biking to work or anything like that, or you got to go off site, it's super humid in DC summers, be prepared for that. We're going to wrap up here with the ideal team player. We want to encourage all of you to strive to be this summer. The ideal team player has 3 attributes. They're humble, they're hungry, and they're smart. And that means like people smart. They know how to read people, can read a room, they have some emotional intelligence. And there's a great book called The Ideal Team Player. My mom got it for me for Christmas. It's an awesome read. There's a whole parable about a guy who wants to hire people for his construction company. And this kind of breaks out the overlaps of like, if you're just smart, but you're not humble, you're kind of cocky, not very hungry, you just charm people. The lovable slacker, watch out for being that person. Like people may like you, and you don't have a cocky attitude, but you don't get anything done. You're actually not adding much value. You're just like a fun person to, have casual talk at the water cooler with. And the skillful politician, avoid that. Don't talk about politics. Don't play the game about how you connect people or say something to one person, something else to somebody else, get them to be mad at each other. Don't do that. There's no value add there. If you're just getting stuff done, you don't care about people, like you're going to bulldoze over folks. That's going to burn some bridges. People are going to decrease their perception of you and your personal brand. So kind of this sweet spot in the middle of that ideal player. You want to be humble, hungry, and smart. These slides are all in the Google Drive. You can click that link there. It's got a link to like a 5-minute book report summary with that graphic and more you can read. Be curious, right? Be interested in what the company's doing and what people's roles are. So next week we're going to go over informational interviews and how you can ask somebody to have a cup of coffee, have some questions to talk to them about, to learn what their specific title and role in the organization is like, what was their background, what they study. Look for ways to build rapport with people. Anybody who ever went to Georgetown, boom, you have an instant rapport building. You guys can talk about, oh, where'd you live freshman year? What was senior year like? What'd you study? You sign any email to anybody who ever went to Georgetown, Hoya Saxa, they're gonna do whatever you asked. Because that's like a pro tip, rapport building. When you have a shared experience with somebody, they're from the same hometown. Talked a little bit with the networking session on like never a naked city, how do you connect to wherever they're from, whatever sports team they like. If they like your rival sports team, hold it in. Don't lash out at the Pittsburgh Steelers fan or whoever it might be, and just realize football is not the topic you want to talk about with this person.
Friendly banter.
Yeah, well, be careful though. My friendly banter gets pretty aggressive pretty quickly with Steelers fans. And so the other thing is to be present, so like be where your feet are. When your feet are in the room, and you guys have done great tonight, like just be focused on this. You don't need to be checking your phone, you don't need to be multitasking, doing all these other things, you don't need to be on your computer, working on stuff for somebody else. Respect the people you're in the room with, what they're saying, and when they can see the visual signs that you're actively listening, they're gonna wanna spend more time with you, they're gonna wanna communicate more, and there's so much you can learn from all of these people. So it takes years to build up your personal brand. One drunk night, one inappropriate sexual comment tears it all down. You can get fired on the spot. So I want to remind you, you are going to spend the rest of your life building your personal brand and avoiding situations that are going to tear it down. And I want to encourage you to make every day count. This is a photo of me and my high school football buddies with our coach Whittles. He passed away a few years ago from pancreatic cancer. When he was fighting cancer, we made kind of purple wristbands that said, make every day count. And I've tried to live that to the fullest every day of my life since then. I think it's phenomenal advice to think each day, what can you do to get better, to improve, and how can you add value to those around you? And specifically, how can you leave a legacy? I think Coach Whittles, he coached for decades at our high school. There's so many young men that he taught them about leadership and sports and competition, but what is hard work and how do you make a positive impact? I think the legacy he's left is pretty powerful. I want to encourage you as you think about your internships, how do you leave a legacy well after August 10th or whatever when it's over, that they're talking about how great of a job you did, and when they hire new interns, they wish they were more like you. They're not going to tell the new intern, God, why can't you be more like the summer intern we had? They're like, that person was so awesome, they did all of these things. Think about the last 2 weeks of your internship, reflect on everything you've learned, and document it. Any processes, any operations, any sales scripts, any marketing campaigns, like everything you learned, document it and put it in a way so that a new intern who's hired in September can read all of that stuff and do the job that you just did all summer. Because realistically, you were just there for 10 weeks, they're going to run this company for 10 years, and anything you can do to make them better able to train and onboard new team members, that's a legacy. All right, you've documented what you've done there, and think about all of the stuff you did not know on day 1 or day 5 or even the end of the first month. Put that stuff in a document so that people can just dive in, read through that, and know the things, and even who to figure out a way politically correctly to document the organizational structure and who to go to when you need certain things. You'll figure out, and certain people are more helpful and others are not as ideal team players. So putting that in there will help as well. And next week we're going to go over information interviews. Cool. David, you want to hit stop on that video? Does anybody have any questions, comments, or any feedback even for me on this personal brand workshop? Awesome.
Where's the button?
It's in the back.